Okay. Good morning, nakap everyone, and welcome back to university. Okay. How are you guys? Are you good? Okay. I hope that all of you are fine, nakap, after you have the term break. So just won't be long. Let me just accept some of other classmates in the class. So for this subject, in this trimester, we are still studying in the online mode anyway. And then the test or the examination for this subject is online as well. Okay, right. Okay, so first of all, let me just give you the course syllabus. The course syllabus here, okay, let me just send that file for you in the, okay, it is in the chat box right now. So you can just open up that file. So let me share my screen for the course syllabus for the information of the course that you have to study in this trimester. Right, okay. So for this course is ICMB207 Management of Business Information, or for the old curriculum. This course ID is ICMB282, or Computer Software Usage Skills. For this course, we have organized the course to be 4-credit course. And then when you see 408 in the parentheses behind number 4 here, it means number of hours that you have to spend in each week. We have lecture for 4 hours every Monday and Wednesday, 8 o'clock to 9:50. And then we don't have any laboratories. Laboratory hours is 0. And then self-study is 8 hours per week. So that means after the class, when you have some exercises and the content that we studied, you have to also practice by yourself as well. In this course is organized under the undergraduate degree program, the international program, and this is the core business subject. For this course, there are 2 lectures, but I mean each lecture is responsible for each section only. So the course responsible lecturer or the course coordinator is Ajahn Veera. So you can you can just have the meeting with him by just appointing via his email, or the course lecturer. For the whole term, I'll be the one who is responsible for you, and I'll teach you for the whole course, for the whole term. My name is Paramin. Okay, you can contact me via the email address. And also, apart from the email that we can communicate to each other, I will set up the line group for us so that we can just communicate through the line to the line group as well. So I'll just organize the QR code for the line group for you later on. Okay. In this subject, we offer this course every trimester. I mean, all trimesters, the whole year round, for all students in all international college undergraduate programs. And in each section, we can accept approximately 40 students per section. Okay, I'm responsible for 2 sections that are section number 4 and number 5. So this subject, it doesn't need to have any prerequisite course or co-requisite courses. All right, okay. So for now, let's move on to goals and objective of the course. Okay. When we are in the modern world, modern organizations have been increasingly relying on the availability of data. You can see that we have to deal with data in every aspects in any kind of business in the world to make better decisions. So much so now that the data is regarded as the new oil. The overall goal of this course is to prepare students to understand the importance of data. In this course, you will learn how to use computerized tools to build data models, as well as analyze and visualize the data in order to make informed decisions. You can see that for analyzing the data, okay, and visualizing the data, these two terms are important for this subject. For the analyzing, okay, for sure, we have to use the tools in these computerized tools, the computerized software, in order to help you to help analyzing the data. By the way, for visualizing the data, this one comes to be just like the one of the essential tools in the business right now, because in order to visualize the data, it means that you try to make the data to become visible, not just in terms of numbers anymore. Because you can see that most of the data, especially for the data in business, they come in terms of numbers that we collect from like all business transactions. But in order to visualize them, we need to make it to become just like easily digestible materials. For example, if you are in the meeting room and you would like to spend, let's say, 1 or 2 seconds to have a glance and make a decision, instead of reading all the numbers in terms of tables, we have graph, we have infographics in order to help making a decision. Sometimes we use colors. Those kind of things like graph, infographics, colors are the form of data visualization. So this course, we will just like teach you in order to understand and pick the most suitable visualization tools for making a decision in the organization exactly, accurately, and precisely. So now let's talk about the objective of this course development and revision. The course objective is for students to understand the importance of data analysis, data visualization, in order to build data models and make informed decisions. This course, we have the course level learning outcomes, or CLOs. By the end of this course, you'll be able to, number one, the CLO number one, demonstrate understanding of data analytics in business practices and organization. CLO number two is to interpret the results of business data and their implications on business operation. Number three, use software package to develop appropriate models for business analysis and problem solving. CLO number four, to analyze the result of business models that produce business intelligence in a variety of settings. CLO number five is to generate business insights through visualization reports and dashboards based on the features of the business data. For the course management, the description of this course is that for data fundamentals such as connecting to data, shaping, combining, and characterizing data, building data models using financial models, scenario manager, GoSeek, data tables, and DAX. DAX stand for data analysis expression. You will learn about it next on. Analyzing data using pivot tables, calculated columns, and calculated measures. Also, visualization of data using spark lines, slicers, reports, visualizers, and dashboards. So in this course, okay, as I mentioned earlier, this subject is for 08. That means in the total trimester, the lecture will be 48 hours, 4 hours per week for 12 weeks, no labs. And then 96 hours for self-study, that are 8 hours per week times 12 weeks, okay. And number of hours that lecture provides individual counseling and guidance. So I'm responsible for office hours, 4 hours per week. that you can just like talk to me Monday and Wednesday around 4 to 6 p.m. By appointment. But I mean, like in case that you really cannot just like make it, I mean, like for some of you who want to talk to me, but you have class during Wednesday, Monday and Wednesday, 4 to 6 p.m., you can just appoint me for other time as well. Okay. So students could make requests for appointments whenever necessary from Monday to Friday during office hours. And the next one, for the development of students' learning outcome, these are just the short summary on the knowledge or skills that course intends to develop in students. So as I mentioned already, we have like 5 CLOs that I just like explained to you before. You may just like read it later on about this. Okay, so for the teaching methods that we have got, we have examinations and we have group project for this term. So that means after midterm exam, we are going to have the group project that I'll assign the project members for you. You have to just like work with your group to do some assignments and also to do the group project presentation at the end of the term as well. So let's see the teaching plan that we have got for the whole 12 weeks. In this week, week number 1, we will talk about the introduction to data analysis and data visualization. In week 2, we will learn about logical and logical functions. Week 3, we will build the financial models and understanding sensitivity analysis. Week 4, we will study for scenario manager and summary to forecast data. On week 5, I'll add the interactivity to business models using forms. Week 6, you learn data analysis using advanced filter, some if else, and some product functions. Week 7, we will learn about data analysis using pivot tables. And then in week number 8, we will study for data analysis by using DAX or data analysis expression. Week number 9, data visualization using data bars, icon sets, slicers, and pivot charts. Week number 10, we will learn about data visualization using visualizers to create reports. Week number 11, we will learn data visualization as well. But in week number 11, we use visualizers to create dashboards. And lastly, on week 12, there will be the presentation for the group research that I'll assign the task for you. So that means after midterm examination, when I assign the group to you, I also just like assign the work as well that, okay, what are you going to do for the group research presentation? So you have the time around 1 month in order to prepare your work before you conduct the presentation at week number 12. Okay. So for the plan for assessing course learning outcomes, we have the formative assessment that are non-graded assignments and feedbacks or practice problems that I'll assign the assignment for you on our e-learning. And then we have the midterm and final examination. And also we have the summative assessment as well. Okay, so these are the percentage of each CLO for the score that I allocate for you. Okay, you may just like refer to this table to see how do we gonna assess you for each course learning outcome. Okay, so now let's see the proportion of the evaluation that we are going to have. For midterm examination, it just like cover the topics from week 1 to week 6. Percentage is 40%. Final exam from week 7 to week 12, it's 35%. Group project, that you have to just like conduct the presentation and submit the work to me on week number 12. It is 20%. And lastly, we have individual assignments. That is 5%. In total, it's 100% for the evaluation that we have got. Okay. So, and this one is the grading system of MUIC and the whole university wide from range from A to F. This is the range of the score. Okay. For the re-examination right now, the university also allow students during the COVID-19 period to have the re-examination if you receive F grade. So the rules for re-examination is that, okay, within 10 days after the grade is launched on Sky system, you can just like request for the re-examination with me if the grade is F. Okay, right. So we also just like allow students to have the student appeals as well. Okay. Students can seek for academic advices and contents and evaluation clarification from instructor and program directors during office hours or by appointments. In addition, MUC provides students the opportunity to formally appeal on academic-related matters through an appellant letter submitted to the college. And for this section number 6, this is teaching material and resources. You may just like find this information or these books from the library, or you can also just like find the text from the internet as well. Okay. And for the evaluation and improvement of course management, we just like provide a strategy for evaluating courses, for evaluating teaching methods, for improving teaching methods and verification process for evaluating student standard achievement as well. You may just like refer to this course syllabus for this one. Also, we normally we provide the review and plan for improving the effectiveness of the course continuously as well. Okay. So for this table, you may just like read it by yourself. For the CLO, course learning outcome and program learning goals or PLG. You may just like read them later on. Okay, in this one. So this is just like the syllabus that we have got for this course. So up to this point, do you have any questions for the course syllabus that I just like mentioned before? Okay, because today is the first day of the class. Now let me just like see the name of the students. Okay, some of you, your name are quite familiar to me because we might meet each other from other subjects before. So feel free to just like talk to me. You may just like you may just like turn on the microphone, or you may just like type the message in the chat box during the class as well, so that we can just like talk to each other about like the academic related matters in during the class. All right. Okay, so if you don't have any question now, let me just like talk about the software that we have to use in this class. Okay, so for this class, we have to use 2 different software. The first part before midterm examination, we have to just like study on the functions and the topics by using software that is Microsoft Excel. Okay. So you may have a question that, okay, if I use Mac, can I use Excel on Mac? Yes, you can use it. What about like some people who would like to use Microsoft Office 365, that is like Excel 365? Yes, you may use it. Or Excel for Windows, that is okay too. Some of you may have the question that, What if I use numbers on Mac? Can I use it? The answer is no, because the functions in Excel and the functions on numbers are different. What about Google Sheets? Somebody said that I would like to use Google Sheet. Can I? No. We have to use Excel only because just like all the formulations and the functions that we have to use in Excel, normally it's the standard one. That most of the businesses around the world use them. So that means you have to use Excel. Okay, that is just like the first software that we have to use. And if you ask me that, okay, which version of Excel that is okay for us, I can tell you that any Excel that is launched after 2010, that is okay. Because some of the functions for the Excel before 2010 is different from the functions that we have been using right now. And how do we know which kind of version that we are using? Hang on. Laxmi asked me that, can I use the Excel application on iPad? I don't recommend Laxmi, because some of the functions for the iPad version is just like eliminated due to just like the limitation of the screen size and the CPUs on iPad as well. So then I recommend you to use just like the Excel on Windows or on Mac, because sometimes if some problem exists and you use the Excel on iPad, I cannot help you, because normally at most I can have just like Excel on Mac and on Windows only. So the recommendation is that, okay, on Mac or on Windows only. But if you say that, can I view the Excel file on iPad? The answer is yes, you may view it. But bear in mind that some of the features in Microsoft Excel that is found on your computer, when you just open it by using iPad, some of the functions might be eliminated. Instead of having the formula, it just convert itself to be just the values. Let's say, suppose I said that I have a function x. When you put the function x to this value, you get the answer 5. And when you see in your normal, on your regular Excel on the computer, you see that functions. Okay. But if you use iPad, you see just number 5 only. You don't know how do you gonna obtain number 5 from. So that's why I recommend you, when you have to use, to create or to edit your data, you have to use Excel on Mac or on Windows. Okay. Apart from that one, what about the other half of the term? After midterm examination, we will just like change to use another software. That is what we call Power BI, Microsoft Power BI desktop. Okay, that software, actually, it can be run on Windows-based computer only. It can be run on Windows-based computer only. That means some of you right now, you are using Mac. What should we do? There are a couple of options that you may do. The first one is that if you said that you don't want to do anything with your Mac, you may have to borrow the Windows laptop computer from other people, maybe from your families, in order to use it. But make sure that you have to borrow them for at least 2 months, from the day that we start studying on Microsoft Power BI until you finish examination. Some of the people, they just like rent the computer from the computer company for 2 months in order to just like use for Microsoft Power BI. My recommendation, if you use any computer for your Power BI on the first day of the class that we study for Power BI, try to use that same computer until you finish examination. Now, let me share my experience to you. What happened for the last 2 terms? Okay, there was a student in this class. I don't know where she was, in some city in Thailand, to study for. At that time, for sure, every course was like pure online course. she just like, I think she was in her hometown, okay, and she used her computer at home to just like study for our course. On the day that we had final exam, okay, she fly from her hometown to Bangkok, and she said that, okay, she just like go to her dorm or her condo, I couldn't remember. Then she used another computer at her apartment in order to just like do the final exam. Unfortunately, she didn't know that, okay, the computer was not in the good condition. When she just like run the Microsoft Power BI for a while, it was freezing, and it kept freezing. She just like she was panicking, and she asked me what to do. I said that, okay, just restart the computer, and then once you can just like open up Microsoft Power BI and then start working on your exam. Keep on saving so that you not lost the file. Unfortunately, the computer kept restarting every just like 20 minutes. So she couldn't do anything much at that time. So then you have to be careful. If you are not familiar with that computer, try not to use it in your in the exam, because it may cause a problem. Okay, that is the first choice. If you just like say that you have Mac and you just like um, like don't want to do anything with your Mac, you have to just like get another computer, maybe borrow from someone else or rent it from some places. Okay, that is the first choice. Next one, if you say that, okay, your computer is Mac, but you would like to use Microsoft Power BI on your Mac, what should we do? Then you have to install some software first, in order to let your computer, your Mac, to be able to run Windows on it. Okay, let me just like give you an idea, because today I just like bring my Mac to the university so that you can just like see it in here. Now let's see. I have installed a software that is called Parallel Desktop. This one makes the what to say, your computer to be able to run Windows on it. Okay, I installed this software. Okay, unfortunately it's expired already. I have to buy the license very soon. Okay, and after that, when I install this software already, somebody may have heard the software that is called what to say, that is called Bootcamp on Mac. You can just like run Bootcamp on Mac as well. For the Bootcamp, it is the software that makes your Mac to be neutralized and to be able to run other software on it easily. So that means you can also just like install Windows on your Mac, and after that you can install any software that requires Windows. So for example, I install Parallel Desktop, and then I install Windows 11 on my Mac, and after that I just like install Power BI Desktop on it. For you may just like use the Bootcamp, and then install Windows on it, and then install Microsoft Power BI on it. Somebody said that, okay, Ajahn, I'm not a techie person. What should I do? I recommend that you just go to the IT store at the shopping center around you. For example, if you are not far from Salaya area, you may go to the Mall Bangkok. That is the place that I normally go. Maybe the Mall Bangkok or Seacon Bangkok as well. You just go to the zone that they just like have the IT shops. Then they just like ask them to install that software for you. Okay, so that are like two choices that you can use in order to just like use the Microsoft Power BI for you. Some of you asked me that, okay, is it possible for us to use the computer lab at MUIC for my Power BI? The answer is yes, you may just like come to the university and use our computer lab in order to run Power BI. But one thing that you have to know is that for our final examination, it is during just like weekends, either on Saturday or Sunday. You have to check on Sky system. Other lab will be closed. And then if you just like say that, okay, normally you use the computer lab to just like study, and then you just like work on the Power BI on that one. But unfortunately, on the exam day, it's closed. You cannot use it. So you have to find another choice anyway, what to redo. So that one. Okay. So these are two different software that we have to use: Microsoft Excel and Microsoft Power BI. So up to this point for the software that we have to use, do you have any other questions? So if you don't have any question right now, let me just like begin with just like the introduction to our Microsoft Excel that we have to use. Okay, so I will just like rely on Microsoft Excel for Windows, because it just like show us for the full functions, and the standard menus more than the Mac one. But anyway, for anyone who use Mac, you can still use it anyway, don't worry. So, and fortunately, this term, because I am in the computer lab right now, so the computer lab has Excel on Windows, and I also bring my laptop, that is Mac. So that means if you have any problems while I'm teaching you for the Excel, and if you use Mac and you don't see, or you cannot just like see that arguments or parameters that you have to enter, I just like have the computer here, then I can just like see how to fix it for you, everyone. Right. Okay, then if you don't have any questions about just like the overview of the software that we have to use, now let me just like begin with the Excel, introduction to the Excel components. Okay, all right. Okay, now let's see. Okay, let me just stop the video for a while. Okay. Okay, this one, let's begin with the Excel. In order to go to Excel, just scroll to the Excel part. In the computer lab, they use Excel 2016. If you use older than that, no problem. As I told you that we can use the Excel. The oldest one is from Excel 2010 and above. Okay. All right, let me introduce you to you for the components in Excel. This is the first screen of Microsoft Excel. It is the opening screen for Microsoft Excel. On the left-hand side, these are just like the recently opened files, or you can click on open the file that you have got. On the right-hand side, these are templates for Microsoft Excel that you are planning to use. In this class, we use blank workbook in here. We always use blank workbook. But in the future, if you have to work in different areas, you may just like search for the template in the area that are related to you. For example, it has billing statements, it has blood pressure tracker, expense report, personal monthly budget, loan amortization, and so on. You can just like type in the template here. For me, for example, if I say that, oh, normally I would like to print out the calendar by using Excel. I just search for the template, and then search for calendar. It just has the ready-made calendar for us, and then we can just like print it out. Okay. All right. So now we just like begin with the blank workbook first. So when you double click on the blank workbook, it will open up your Microsoft Excel workbook for us. What is workbook? Okay. So let me explain to you. workbook or book in Microsoft Excel is a file นะครับ workbook is a book sorry workbook or a book is a file in Excel ครับ okay same meaning นะครับ for Microsoft Excel so you can see that if you notice in here you see book 1 นะครับ book 1 dash Excel นะครับ on the title bar here so it means that right now you are working with book 1 if you new another file นะครับ let's say if you new another file now I get book 2 นะครับ so why does Excel need to just set up book 1 book 2 book 3 and so on for you because if you haven't saved it นะครับ Excel need to just create a new one so that you not be confused that's why it just like show you with the book and followed by the number for us okay now I close book 2 first I just use book 1 only now in Excel there is another word that we usually use นะครับ we have the word that is called worksheet นะครับ worksheet equals to a sheet equals to a page in Microsoft Excel file so you can see that okay in order to notice that how many pages how many sheets or how many worksheets do we have you just like move your mouse pointer down นะครับ and then you see the tab here you see sheet 1 that means this file consists of one sheet or one worksheet or one page ครับ if you would like to have many pages you can see that we have the plus symbol นะครับ you see plus symbol here นะครับ on the right hand side of the tab once you click on it it just have the new sheet for you นะครับ sheet 2 sheet 3 and so on in the past Microsoft Excel created 3 sheets as the default for you นะครับ but since 2016 Excel when any users create a new workbook it just like start the default one just one sheet only that is called as sheet 1 and if you would like to create new sheet you just click add new sheet by yourself why was that the reason was that people they didn't normally in one file most of the people just use one sheet only so that's why instead of creating many sheets that are just like consume the memory for Excel it just like create one sheet only that is enough but if the users would like to have more than one sheet no problem they just click to add more sheets in it okay right so before we talk about the contents inside the sheet let's talk about the menus that Microsoft Excel has first so underneath the title bar นะครับ we have the menu bar that are file home insert page layout formulas data review view and developer I think most of you may have just like menu from file to view only you don't have the developer นะครับ don't worry we'll add it later on okay this menu bar once you click on each menu it just like show different parts underneath the menu for you นะครับ this in this part นะครับ the what to say the rectangle the gray rectangle below the menu we call them as ribbons นะครับ ribbon consists of many tools inside นะครับ for example for home they are it is a ribbon that consists of many of the tools that we can use many of the icons that we can use cut copy and paste fonts นะครับ alignments number style sales and editing นะครับ these are just like the for the home menu these are just like the most frequently used tools นะครับ that we usually use them insert menu นะครับ is the menu that we use to insert some tools or some features in Microsoft Excel like charts, like pivot tables in your worksheet. Page layout is to set up the page when you have to just make it as a PDF file or print it out. Formulas is the function นะครับ or is the menu that we just like can just choose the functions in your worksheet. Data is a menu that is used in order to manage the data that you have in the worksheet. Review is like you add some comments on your worksheet. For example, if the accountant sent you the worksheet that is about the balance sheet and you have some comments, but you don't want to write down directly into the worksheet, you can just like add the comments only so that the accountant knows that, okay, it's from you. All right. View is to just like change the view for the Microsoft Excel in case that you want to zoom, you want to show the formula bar, hide the formula bar, and so on. Okay, let me just explain for the functions like this first, the menus like this first. Developers, I'll explain it later on. Okay, sign in and share. Sign in and share here come from Microsoft Excel since 2016 version onward. For the sign in, it means that if you sign in, you can just like save your Excel file in the cloud drive, the Microsoft cloud drive, that is OneDrive. Okay, so that means if you want to save, okay, so in here, if you just sign in, it just like can go to OneDrive directly, but otherwise then you have to sign in first in here. Next one, share. Share is a feature that makes your Excel workbook to look similar to the Google Sheet because you can share with your colleagues. And then when you open it up and your colleague open this Excel file as well, you see the same content. And while someone who you share the file is typing something, you can also see what he or she is typing as well. Sometimes if you would like to plan for itinerary with your colleague, okay, you can just help each other in the same worksheet at the same time as well in that one. All right, so these are just like the menus that Excel has got. Lower than the menu and its ribbon, we have just like the white boxes here. What are they? The white boxes here are the tools that we use in order to see the data, to help fixing the data, and in order to just like enter some functions or formula in it. Start from the left one that right now it might show as A1 on my screen, but it might show some values on your screen. Let me just like tell you what it's called. This one we call it as name box. Name box is the place where you can see, or we can just like navigate to the location where you would like to go. So right now my one is showing as A1. You have to know that in Microsoft Excel, normally we enter the data and formula in the boxes in the white area here. Each box we call it as a cell CELL cell. A cell is a small box that you can enter data. You can enter value, date, currency and so on in each cell. Or formula as well in each cell. So each cell has the location that you can identify the location of each cell by using the intersection between row number and column number. You can see that the cell that I'm typing the word CELL cell here. We begin to call its location by the column first. Here you can see that it's located in column K. Row number 2 นะครับ column K row number 2 so we call this intersection of the cell location as cell K2 นะครับ K2 and then you can see in the name box that this is K2 see that so if you would like to go to cell A1 in the name box you just type A1 and then press enter then the cursor will just like jump back to the cell A1 straight away นะครับ so that means if you navigate to any cells in the worksheet and you want to jump to some specific cell you can just like type that cell location in the name box so that Excel will jump back to that location straight away นะครับ okay next on the middle part นะครับ of the white box here it shows cross and check and fx cross and check นะครับ are just like the menu not menu sorry the icon that show us whether your formula is correct or not it just help you checking นะครับ the basic name of the functions only but actually นะครับ you have to rely on just like what you studied and what the standard of the function that it has as well because for cross symbol and tick symbol they just show just like the basic things only but they don't understand the logic inside your functions then you have to check by yourself next fx is a button that you can just insert a function from here how to if you click on fx it just pop up the list of insert function for you so that you can choose from the list okay we'll talk about this function insert function box later on next on the rightmost white boxes it's the long white box this long white box we call it as formula bar formula bar is the box that show us about the formula and its arguments inside formula the functions and its argument inside sometimes your function is very long so that's why we can just like expand the size of the formula bar to be just like a long one okay right okay next underneath the formula bar you see the column number and row number here in order to choose the whole column you go to that column number for example if you would like to highlight or to choose the whole column K you go to column K and then click you can see that once you move the mouse pointer normally the mouse pointer if you are in the white box in the cells the cursor or the mouse pointer is the white cross symbol white thick cross symbol but if you move the mouse pointer over the column number the pointer is changed itself from cross to be down arrow in the black color you can choose many columns at a time for example if I say that I want to choose from column J to column O everyone let's try by yourself too choose from column J to column O first you move the mouse pointer over column J first after that you drag to column O so right now the cells underneath column J and O will be highlighted in the gray color and is framed with the green border it means that right now you are choosing for column J to column O the whole column how do I know that I choose or I highlight the whole column if the whole column or the column name in here is shown as green color here it means that I choose the whole column like this in here okay so why do you have to choose the whole column sometimes you may have to set up some formats of it so that's why you may have to just like do like this okay the next one if you would like to choose the whole rows what should I do the same thing move the mouse pointer over the row number and then highlight it here By the way, you can just like choose either many columns at a time or many rows at a time only. You cannot choose many rows and many columns at a time. Okay. So if you would like to highlight some specific cells only, what should we do? Suppose I said that I would like to highlight from A1 to J10. A1 to J10. The things that we have to do is that you don't just like click on the column name or row name, column name or row number anymore, but you just go to the cell straight away, A1 to J10, right? So you move the mouse pointer to a cell, the first cell, first A1, right? And then you start dragging. Here. So you can see that right now you are choosing A1 to J10, A1 to J10. Right. So in this one, while you are dragging, you can see that it just like show you in the name box that right now it is 10 rows by 10 columns, 10 row by 10 columns. So it just telling you that, okay, right now, how many cells you are choosing right now. But once you release the mouse button already, it just show the name, the cell location as usual. Okay, right. So this is just like to highlight the cells that you want to use. Okay. After that, when you just like know the way in order to navigate, in order to control your cells already, what else that we have to know? The next part is that below your worksheet, you have the sheet tab, right? So right now I create many sheets. I can create sheet 4, sheet 5, sheet 6, and so on. Depends on you. And if you ask me that normally how do you gonna use these sheets and what are these sheets used for? Somebody use these sheets, each sheet to enter the data for each month. Somebody said that, okay, 1 quarter per 1 sheet. It depends on your usage. How would you like it to be? Okay, right. So, okay, now we have the sheet tab already. Underneath the sheet tab, in here, you can see that on the bottom right corner, you see the view that are normal view, page layout view, or page break view. Depends on just like what view that you would like to have. Normally, I use the normal view. Once you just like click on page break view, and if you go back to normal view, you can see that it's the dashed line here. What are they? The dashed line here means that it's a breakage between each page. It means that if you just like type anything in column A to column I right now, it will be on page number 1. The border of the right border of page 1 is at column I. That means if you type anything, after column I, it will be appeared in another page. So this one, it helps us in order to just like know whenever you have to design any worksheet to be fit in a page, you must not go over column I, something like that. But if you say that, okay, what about like setting up the page as a landscape one? That is another story. If you set it up as a landscape one, once you click on the page break preview, the dash line will be moved to other cell column, sorry. Next, you have just like the magnifier to zoom. If you say that, okay, your data, you want it to be you want to see it just like in smaller view, you can just like zoom in, or you can zoom out as you like, in here. All right. Okay, so these are just like the basic things that we have got in the worksheets that we need to have. Okay, so right now, let's begin entering some data a bit. Let me just like clear my drawing a bit. Okay, so firstly, we will begin entering the data into our Excel worksheet. So let's start typing the information นะครับ all right okay นะครับ when you start typing the data นะครับ please just like start typing this we'll just like go to the next thing what are we going to do in column A I said that I would like to enter number 1 2 3 4 5 to 12 นะครับ in month column I would like to enter January to December and after that I would like to enter the revenue of each month นะครับ in this one okay if you would like to enter number 1 to number 12 นะครับ somebody might do like this they enter 1 นะครับ and then enter นะครับ normally when you press enter on Excel worksheet นะครับ the cursor will jump down to one row below นะครับ so right now when I enter number 1 in cell A6 นะครับ and then I press enter it just like by nature นะครับ the cursor will jump down to cell A7 for me so then I can enter number 2 when I press enter it jumps to A8 A9 and so on นะครับ okay so in here you may say that it wastes a lot of time if I have to type number 1 number 2 3 4 5 does Excel help me in order to fill up this data automatically the answer is yes Excel is good at help you entering the data if the data is in series or if the data is in sequence for example if we say that you have number 1 number 2 and so on what should we do in here นะครับ Excel know immediately that they are just like running number so in order to have Excel to help you filling up the data นะครับ you have to give a pattern for Excel first for example in here I give a pattern 1 and then 2 so Excel will just like anticipate that the next value will be 3 and 4 and 5 and so on นะครับ as a running number so in order to let Excel to help running this number for you you highlight cell นะครับ that contain the number 1 and number 2 นะครับ okay now you will see the green dot นะครับ the green dot on the bottom right corner right so move the mouse pointer over the green dot right now you can see that the cursor is in thick white cross but if you move the mouse pointer over the green dot the cursor will change itself to be black นะครับ black cross นะครับ black thin cross from the black thin cross you drag black thin cross down you can see a bubble show you นะครับ very close to the black cross นะครับ to be the number that Excel will generate for you now when I drag down it just show number 5 you see that 6 7 8 9 10 I just like stop at number 12 so when I stop I release mouse button then Excel will just automatically create the number for me so let me undo first to undo นะครับ I may just click on the button undo on the top left corner undo autofill in here I have just 1 and 2 right if I want to autofill I drag down then I get number 12 okay somebody นะครับ if you don't move the mouse pointer on the green dot what will happen you can see that the cursor is not the black cross but it will be the black cross with the arrowheads in here it's different นะครับ the black cross with the arrowhead means that you are moving the value of the cell to somewhere else let me just show you a bit นะครับ in here if I just like pick the wrong place instead of bottom right corner I pick somewhere else and then I drag you can see that it moved 1 and 2 around นะครับ instead of copy these numbers and then create the autofill values นะครับ okay all right now นะครับ let's drag it until value 12 okay these are just like automatic generation numbers นะครับ by Excel What else? Not just the number นะครับ some other values like month can be automatically filled up as well. In this one, let's see นะครับ I try January, February, but you have to make sure that you spell correctly นะครับ otherwise if you misspell it, instead of having autofill, it just like copy that value for you instead. I'll show you later on. Right now I have January, February. So if I want to automatic filling up this data, I highlight Jan and Feb month. At the bottom right corner, I drag up. You can see that right now, the bubble shows the autofill data until December, and then I release. So you can see that right now, month number will be automatically filled up by Excel for you. Okay. Let's do again. Firstly, I have to write a pattern of months that I want to copy, that I want to just like using it as a pattern. I highlight them. Go to the bottom right corner of that highlighted months, and then I drag down. It will be automatically fill up the rest of the month. What if you just drag over December? What will happen? In this one, if I drag down, when it finishes at December, it will restart at January, February again. When I drag more until December, it just like have more January, February. Because Excel just think that you may want to have the month for many years. So that's why you drag for more than 12 months. Okay. Now, what if I mistype it? I have January and February, but I misspell February. Okay. When I drag down, you can see that the order will be wrong. It starts with January, February, 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 March, February, April, February, May, something like that. So that's why, as I told you, if you misspell, the order will be wrong. So you have to make sure that you spell this data correctly. Apart from this one, suppose we say that we have Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Can we let Excel to help you filling up the data? Let's see. If I enter Q1, Q2, something like that, and then I drag, it will have Q3, Q4 for me, because Excel know that Q1 means Q1. And then it will restart at Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 again. Something like this. So this is the data that Excel can help us to automatically filling up the data. Okay, right. Okay, so this is like what Excel have got for us for help filling up the data. Okay, right. Just a little bit tips that you should know. Sometimes you say that you have number from number 1 to number 12 already. But for months, January, February here, you don't want to drag like this, because we have to spend a lot of time to do. Can we have just like faster way in order to filling up the data from March to December without dragging? I can tell you that yes, we have got. In this one, everyone, let's have a look. When I have January and February already, I highlight them, right? At the bottom right corner, when I see the green dot, I don't need to drag, but I double click. You can see that right now, from March to December, it will be automatically filling up for us. How does Excel knows that it has to end at number 12 or December month? The reason is because we have the connected columns that has the data until number 12. That's why it just show the date, the month until December. If we don't have, the left column, for example, we don't have any data at all. We don't have any data at all. what will happen? If I highlight January and February and double click, nothing happened. Right now I'm double clicking, nothing happened because it doesn't have the guideline where to stop. So that's why you need to have the left or the right column as a guideline first. Okay, here. Now I can just like double click. Okay, right. Okay, these are the shortcuts to help you work faster. Now let's entering the revenue, everyone. Okay, so this is the revenue. Normally, let me just explain to you. Whenever you have to use Excel, everyone, you have to be careful. Listen to me carefully. For the data, especially if the data is the number, if the data is the number, the things that you always have to enter is just the number only without currency symbol. You can see that I don't enter $sign here. Apart from that one, be careful if you have comma to separate the 1,000 units. Don't enter it manually. So that means the revenue of January, if it is 1.75 million, it is 1755210. I don't type like this. Okay. I don't type 1,755,210. Normally I just like try not to enter comma like this. Why is that? This one you have to be careful. Some version of Excel, when you enter comma, it might think that you are entering text. You have to know what is the difference between text and numbers. Text can be number-like values, but it's normally don't use for calculation. That's why we call it as a text. For example, zip code, we never calculate anything from the zip code. So that's why when we set up the zip code, for example, at Salaya area, it is 73170. We never set it up as text. We never set it up as number. Zip code, we set it up as text. Is okay. What else? Student ID. We never use student ID for any calculation. So that's why we just like set it up as text is okay. Phone number. We don't calculate anything from phone number. So normally when we just like store the phone number, we store it as a text is okay. But for numbers, they are calculatable values. For example, currency value, payment, even though the date as well. Sometimes if you say that, hey, but date, we have the specific data type that is a date, but why do you have to set it up as number sometimes? For the day, let's say I want to know that, okay, the date 25th and 23rd, how many days between them? Then you subtract 25th by 23rd, then you get 2 as the answer. Then you know that the duration is 2 days, something like that. So that's why sometimes date, numbers, they are calculatable values, but text is different. When you enter comma, when you enter $sign, Excel will treat those value as the text, and it cannot be calculated later on. So be careful when you enter the data, especially if the data is a number like this. Just enter its number without entering the currency symbol. Okay, now let's see. For anyone who haven't finished, I'll copy this value for you. Suppose we have like so many numbers or text that I just like type as the example. I will just like copy and paste it in the chat box. Then you can copy and paste into your Excel file straight away. The way that I do, the easiest way for you is that I copy one column at a time. For example, if I have revenue นะครับ in these two column C and column D I will not copy like this นะครับ I will not copy like this but I have to copy one column at a time because when I copy it into the chat box นะครับ when I copy it into the chat box the things that you do is that you copy that value นะครับ and then just go to your Excel นะครับ just go to your Excel and then paste it then you get that value straight away but if I just like have the value like this and then I copy this one to you นะครับ in the chat box when I just copy this okay let me just give you one row only นะครับ if I just copy like this you can see that in the chat box it appear 1755210 and then a space 1,755,210 and what if I just copy the value in the chat box นะครับ and paste in Excel let's see what happened นะครับ okay you can see that sometimes some of you can get the data into different cells but some of you may not do that นะครับ so you have to be careful you have to be careful sometimes you don't get just like the value like this that's why when I just copy it for you I copy one column at a time only okay so I hope that everyone get the revenue for these 12 months of 2021 already now we will learn how to set up the data format in the cells you have to know that in Microsoft Excel in Microsoft Excel one thing that Excel can help us is to just like set up the format of the data before we visualize them before we print it out before we present it to other people in this one the way that we do is that firstly you have to know what kind of or what type of data that we should have for example the revenue in here for sure it should be the currency it is not the text so then you can just like set it up as the currency how to set up the format we call it as format of the cell how do we gonna set up the format of the cell firstly you have to choose what cell that you would like to set up the format first in here I would like to set up the format for the revenue from January to December then I have to highlight them first when you highlight them already you right click highlight them and then right click you will see format cells right you see format cells then we choose format cells it just pop up the format cells window for you the format cells what can you format you can format the number alignment font border fill and protection in here we will format the number what kind of number would you like to format we know that this data is the currency then we go to currency in the number tab we choose currency and after that you choose the decimal places that you want to have and the currency symbol that you would like to use as well for example in here I would like to show 2 decimal places and I want to show dollar sign okay so it shows the preview for you the sample for you on the top of it lower than that it has negative numbers this one some of the students might be confused in this one the things that you have to know is that we may have negative dollar sign 1234.10 as a first line if you move the mouse pointer if you move the mouse pointer the first one is in black color second line it is dollar sign 1234.10 it is in red color third one black color with the parenthesis last one red color with the parenthesis what are they for this one it means that whenever negative number turns up how would you like your number to be displayed somebody said that oh I want to have the negative symbol but in terms of accounting they will use parentheses instead นะครับ they don't want to show negative symbol some of the accountants they said that I want it to be in black somebody said I want in red because when I show it on the screen other people can see นะครับ all right so it depends on you นะครับ there's nothing wrong because some of you later on when it shows negative symbol it show parenthesis while my screen show negative symbol you may say อาจารย์ what I'm doing wrong I'll say that no there's nothing wrong but just different display or different formatting only นะครับ okay in here if I'm okay with it I just choose okay นะครับ so right now it shows comma it shows decimal points it shows dollar sign you can change it anytime when you want to okay here so in this one you can just like choose let's say because in this one it seems like I don't have any decimal numbers at all then I just like don't want decimal places okay I put it as 0 decimal places instead okay so in here it shows the revenue like this okay right so right now we have the formatting of the value like this one already so when we would like to just like set up the font somebody said that they are going to set up the font by just like highlighting the cells that you want to set up the font and go to home menu choose a font from here or somebody said that I highlight the cells that I want to set up the font right click and choose format cell it's the same thing นะครับ and then you choose font and then you choose font when you choose font then you just choose whatever font that you want it's the same as you choose from home menu in here right okay so when we just like set up the know how to set up the format of the cells already okay so let's decorate our table a bit we highlight I'll just like make it as a table to be the borders to have the borders like this so in order to set it up as a tables with a border you may just like choose highlight them first choose home menu and then you can see that in the font group you can just like choose the border from here or you may just like right click and choose format cells go to border and then you can choose what kind of border would you like to have as well for example I say that I want to choose inside outline the same okay but for the header I want to have the thick border instead sorry this one and then I can say that I choose okay depends on you whatever would you like it to be okay right okay I just highlight the headers a bit okay right okay so this is just like the first table that we have got this is the first table that we have got so the next thing that we have to know when we create any values into the cell in Microsoft Excel already sometimes the cells are too narrow or too wide what should we do okay so everyone I would like you to see on my screen now you can see that the revenue the revenue on my column show hatches symbols a lot there's nothing wrong in the future some of you when you just like work with your Excel worksheet you found that there are a lot of hatches like this am I doing anything wrong the answer is no and what's going on in this case it means your column is too narrow to display the whole text or the whole numbers in that column what should we do if the column is too narrow you have to set up the width of the column properly. In order to set up the width of the column properly นะครับ sometimes it is not just the column width นะครับ the row height does matter as well. So whenever your column is too narrow นะครับ we have couple of ways in order to set up นะครับ the width of the column นะครับ we apply the same thing with the row นะครับ okay now I just talk to the column first. You can see that okay in my example here column C is too narrow, right? So the first way in order to widen the column is that you click on the column you want to change the width นะครับ after that right click, you see the menu นะครับ this menu is what we call the context menu นะครับ it will be changed according to the position that you choose. Right click นะครับ this context menu show a menu called column width. You can click and type the column width as well นะครับ but anyway this one is the unit is point นะครับ not centimeters not millimeters นะครับ okay so sometimes you may have to guess about it. Let's say if I say that okay I want my column width to be 50, oh it's too wide นะครับ something like that. By the way if you say that you want to set up the column width of two columns to be the same width like column B and column C, you can highlight two columns at the same time นะครับ right click and choose column width. When you choose the column width นะครับ it applies to both column at the same time for you. For example I said oh I change to be 20 points instead. Now column B and column C has the same width นะครับ 20 points. Okay so for the row as well นะครับ if you say that okay row number 1 to 12 you want to increase the height of the row, you can highlight them, right click and choose row height นะครับ similar way as we did with the column width นะครับ okay suppose I said I want column the row height of these 12 rows to be 20. Yeah okay these are 20 points already. When we get this one นะครับ you can see that this is the first way to set up the width of the column or height of the row by entering the numbers. Second way นะครับ you can manually นะครับ adjust the width as well. For example I said that okay column B for the month is too wide. What should I do? And I don't know the exact points in order to set up the width. So you highlight the column นะครับ move the mouse pointer to the right border of that column. You can see that right now once you move the arrow to the right border นะครับ the cursor will be changed to be two directional arrow นะครับ means that you can drag to adjust the width of the column. In here you click and drag นะครับ and drag. You can see that in here it just narrower นะครับ it just narrower. We still have class right now. Yeah please come back after 9:50. Yeah you're welcome. All right okay this one นะครับ when you have this you can see that we can set up the width of the column นะครับ manually. You can drag and choose นะครับ in here, or you can have like more than one column as well and then you can drag at the same time in here นะครับ so different columns will just like have the same width as you want. Okay that is the second way. Third way นะครับ the third way if you want to set up the width of the column you can have it automatically นะครับ as well. We call it as automatic justification of the width or the height นะครับ firstly you highlight the column first นะครับ after that when you just like highlight them already นะครับ you move the mouse pointer to the border of the column and then you double click นะครับ this one will automatically justify the width. What does it mean by automatically justification? It just see the widest part นะครับ or the widest cell and justify the column width by Excel automatically. You can see that for the revenue in here นะครับ it just like cover all of the cells in here นะครับ to see the data properly. It doesn't have any column or any cell to be in the hashes at all นะครับ in here. While the month นะครับ it just like has like some spare space as well in order to just like show the month properly. Have something like this. So right now you have the idea in order to show or in order to just like set up the width of the column properly already. For the row height, if you would like to set up the row height automatically, you highlight the rows that you would like to set up the height. Then go to the border of one row นะครับ double click. Then it will be automatically justify the width of the row. But if you think that it's too narrow, you can just like increase more height as well as you like. Okay, right. Okay, นะครับ up to this point, do you have any questions about formatting the cells and also setting up the width and the height of the column and the rows? All right. So if you don't have any questions นะครับ now I have like two access I have too many access worksheet that I just like play around. Then I want to clear it off. How do we gonna clear the worksheets that we don't want to use? If you don't want any worksheet นะครับ you just go to that worksheet first นะครับ right click on the sheet tab and choose delete นะครับ right click on that tab that you don't want and click delete. If you don't have any data, Excel will delete it without asking. But if you have the data นะครับ Excel will ask you first, are you sure to delete that worksheet? You can see that in this worksheet I typed the word cell, so that's why I have the data in this worksheet. That's why I cannot delete it straight away. It asks me to confirm that I would like to delete it. Okay, yeah. Sheet 4, nothing. Sheet 5, nothing. Okay, right. Okay then นะครับ for the sheet that we have got. Now, I will rename this sheet because sheet 6 นะครับ doesn't mean anything to me right now. I want to name it as revenue 2021 นะครับ. So in order to name it นะครับ or to rename the worksheet, you go to the sheet tab as well. Right click and choose rename. Right click and choose rename. We type revenue. Oh, sorry. Revenue. Sorry, what happened? Revenue 2021 นะครับ revenue 2021 and then you press enter นะครับ then you get this worksheet name revenue 2021 already. What about the file name นะครับ so everyone let's name this file นะครับ I'll save นะครับ once if it is the first time that you save นะครับ you have to specify the name of the file and the location that you want to save first. In this one, I click save. I choose browse. This one I name a folder. Okay. Everyone name this file as my first book นะครับ my first book. Okay, name it as section 4. Okay, I name it as my first book นะครับ and then you click save. You click file and then save นะครับ and then you just choose the folder that you want to save, name it as my first book นะครับ the file type is Excel workbook. I'll show you next on what is different file type that you choose นะครับ in here. if you save it right now นะครับ later on if you keep on save if you want to save นะครับ and I recommend you to just keep on saving when you want to save the file you can go to the top left corner and you see diskette button just click over there it just save it for you straight away นะครับ or if you click file and then save it doesn't ask you anything anymore because you just specify the name already since the beginning นะครับ okay now if you have a look นะครับ on the file that you save okay let's have a look here นะครับ the file this one is Microsoft Excel worksheets in here if you see the file property นะครับ I just want you to see because whenever you have to send the email to other people นะครับ the file will be like this this is the file นะครับ Microsoft Excel worksheet .xlsx นะครับ so this is the version after 2010 นะครับ this is .xlsx the older version is .xls only there is no x behind นะครับ in here right so this is the file that we are going to use on the next class right okay นะครับ everyone so in this one นะครับ this is my first book file that we studied today so up to this point do you have any questions ครับ anyone so if you don't have any question นะครับ let me create the group for us first so that we can just like communicate to each other okay just one belong นะครับ on the screen นะครับ okay please add yourself to the group ครับ everyone so that we can communicate to each other okay so นะครับ when you add yourself to the group already when I have any announcement or any updated information I'll just like let you know on our line group as well นะครับ just a little more thing that I just like want to tell you whenever we have to just like check the attendance นะครับ the things that I normally do I just like say I just tell you that okay everyone before we finish the class could you please turn on your camera and then I'll capture the screen นะครับ that is the way that I just like use to check the attendance as well นะครับ okay let's try ครับ everyone ครับ could you please turn on your camera ครับ before we finish the class okay then นะครับ that should be all for the attendance checking นะครับ we do like this นะครับ all right so up to this point นะครับ everyone do you have any questions